How you doing, Brian King, UK Flowing TV? Today I'm back in my kitchen. Uh, it's the second of the lockdown interviews. The first one was with Dean White yesterday, not yesterday, the day before. Today I'm with Dan Jones from Oxford, aren't you, Dan?
Yeah, Oxford. Yeah,
So, how you doing, Dan? All right.
yeah, not too bad, not bad. You all right, Rob?
How are you managing with this lockdown, Dan?
Well, it's not too bad for me because I didn't down tools till 31st of March, and then I had holiday booked anyway because obviously it was my birthday, so I booked time off. So it kind of hasn't quite sunk in yet that we're actually, and obviously with the Easter weekend coming up, so I think give it a few more weeks and I might be pulling my hair out a little bit.
Well, I finished last week. I were quite lucky, and this week I should have been on holiday in Scotland. So this week I should be off anyway. So you know what I mean. We're all getting on at the minute, but ask me in a week, we might all be killing one another.
Yeah, so
But again, the NHS, you know what I mean. We take our hat off to them. I think a lot of
yeah.
us take the NHS for granted, and it's only when something like this happens you realise what a fantastic country we live in and what a great NHS system we have.
Oh, without a doubt. And I mean, I took my daughter. My daughter had some stomach pains, so I took her up hospital. It's probably about a couple of weeks ago now, and it was absolutely quiet. And speaking to the receptionist, she was saying that this really is what it should be like.
Yeah,
But obviously, a lot of people do take it for granted and just go to hospital for, for when they shouldn't really be going.
yeah, yeah. We've all done it.
Yeah, of course, we have, yeah.
Yeah. Also, you have a family, don't you? Like a young family.
Yes.
What can you claim for? And like, or are you getting a wage from an employer? What are you doing for income, Dan?
Right, so we were furloughed on the well, I was furloughed on the 31st. A couple of our other guys were furloughed the week before, but I think officially it kicked in on the 31st for us.
Yeah.
So being employed, we're on the 80% wage thing. So we'll get 80% of our wage, uh, and that's probably about it for me, to be fair.
Yeah. See, like with the likes of me, I'm getting nothing at all. I've got to wait till June
Yeah.
to be self-employed. What do you think about that? Do you think that can be brought forward, or it should be brought forward?
Well, well, yeah, because obviously, whether you're, I know taxes and all this work out differently when you're employed and self-employed, but essentially, you've got no income coming in. So that's and people need an income. So some people might have enough savings where they tick over for a few months, but, most of us, working class, you live month by month, most of the time.
I know some people, not necessarily floor but they live week by week, so they get paid on a Friday, they're skint by the next Friday, and they rely on that wage.
Exactly that sort of weekly wage, which I used to do, and I get paid monthly now. So it took a bit of adjustment, but it's hard for the first few months going from weekly to monthly, but getting used to it now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been a few years now, but
What are you doing with all your spare time?
uh,
Wash.
uh, well, obviously it's my birthday the weekend, so I sort of chilled out, relaxed a bit, had a few beers and whatnot. Doing what everyone else is doing, really. I'm cooking quite a lot, to be fair.
Yeah.
And to be honest, Brian, with sitting down and having family meals, which kind of was a weekly, once a week, and now it's kind of every evening, which is fantastic.
That's the big thing in our household. We're all sitting together as a family. We're all doing things as a
Yeah,
family. Whereas during the week, I usually work till tea time, then I'm out measuring. So we all have dinner at different times. So we're
yeah,
noticing that a lot. But,
yeah.
how long, in your opinion, do you think this will last? How long's a piece of
Uh,
string, I suppose?
I mean, hopefully, sort of towards the end of June, we might. I mean, I was just following China, and they're sort of coming out of lockdown now, aren't they?
Yeah,
Um, And I'm thinking we're kind of a couple of months behind them. So possibly end of June, July, but who knows? And who knows when the kids are going to go back as well? Which personally, I can't see the kids going back till September.
And there's the people sitting their exams. They can't do those, can they? I think they're marked off the mocks, aren't they? The mock exams.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. So it's all a bit up in the air in a minute. I don't think anyone quite knows, and I don't think the government know. And all fair play to them. They're doing their best, aren't they?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, so
yeah.
you couldn't have expected this.
No, I know. So who do you work for, Dan? Do you work for a
I
company
work for
or?
a company called Oxford City Flooring. We're based in Didcot. Smallish company. I think off the top of my head, there's probably about 10, 11 of us, in the company. So it's not a massive company.
And you mainly fit commercial flooring, don't you?
I suppose we are mainly commercial. Although that said, Brian, we have been doing a lot of domestic recently. So
Do you,
sorry.
personally, is it just commercial you fit, or do you do domestic as well?
Domestic as well. Throughout my career, I started off as a commercial fitter, then went into domestic, and then obviously come back into a company that we kind of do a mix of now. So but I would say it's mainly commercial.
Yeah. What do you mainly fit? Is it mainly commercial you do, or is it a mixed bag?
It's a bit of a mixed bag, really. I would say I'm more sort of LVT, cap and cove, safety floor, hard flooring as such, lino, that sort of thing. Little bit of carpet. I can fit a carpet, but I'm certainly not quick at it. Certainly not quick at it. So yeah, I know. It's mainly LVT and vinyl, if you like.
So with the, like say, the LVT and cap and cove, so one day you could be on a commercial site, but the next day you could be in somebody's home. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Or is it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Our jobs tend to they range from, like, commercial jobs would range from a day job to, it might be a week, it might be 2, 3, 4 weeks even. We've been on some jobs that have lasted months. Not really my cup of tea, if I'll be honest. Site work, not now anyway.
Yeah. What do you prefer to fit?
Got to be LVT, and I suppose LVT is my bag, really. That's what I prefer.
You was an instructor. You did the commercial vinyl instructor at Floor Skills for a couple of years. What was that like?
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. The private courses were, for me, the best courses. The apprenticeships are great. The problem with apprenticeships is there's a lot of academic stuff that the kids that are coming into it, they're not. I'm not saying they're thick, but they're more practical than academic, and that's what they wanted to focus on. And obviously, it's government money that funds the apprenticeships, so they've got to be doing their maths, their English, and that's at the point they tend to switch off. They just want to go there and learn how to fit floors. That's what they think they're going to be doing, but not the case. But private course is fantastic. You get to meet some great fitters, bouncing ideas off each other as well. I think that's the thing, Brian. A lot of people think courses people are trying to teach you to suck eggs, and it's far from it.
I know, yeah.
As you know, it's you'll probably learn something off someone as much as they'll learn something off of you. So it's fantastic, and obviously I was at Floor Skills, and the team there are fantastic. Hats off to Matt Bourne, Rob Harper, Ross is doing now, Matt Bowles. Fantastic team.
How come you gave that up, Dan? How come you stopped being an instructor? If you don't mind me asking.
right, for me again, it was more the apprenticeships for me.
Yeah.
Uh, Obviously, the guys up there, we had to start taking our teaching qualification. For me, I'm not that academic. I'm far from stupid, but I'm not academic, and I think I struggled with that. That's so really, I think for me it was the apprenticeships that finally did it for me.
Yeah.
Uh, Nothing else. It was, and I do miss it, to be fair, but it the folders seem to have gone from sort of that to that, in a
Yeah.
short period of time. Feedback, for instance, feedback in folders. You could be doing 10 feedbacks for one session, which I just couldn't get my head around the teaching qualification either. So for me, that was probably the thing. And it
Right.
was an hour and 5 minutes away from me, an hour. So the commute, I know, an hour up and down the motorway, so 2 hours motorway driving every day, same journey, and that kind of got to me as well. But that was purely it. But private courses, fantastic. I learnt a lot from it as well.
Yeah. Dan, you was in the finals of the European LVT competition, or that
Yeah.
was hosted by Floor Skills. What was that like?
Yeah, it was good, Brian. It was good. I think, but
That damn Steve Sidney.
damn Steve Sidney, cracking bay, absolutely cracking bay. Um, I I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. We had a good laugh. We had obviously the after sort of thing as well. A few pints and getting to actually meet everybody as well. But it kind of, I think that problem with me, Brian, and I know Matt Bourne will tell you this, and Rob Harper will tell. I tend to talk a lot and smoke a lot and drink a lot of cups of coffee. So I think that went against me, but time wise. I like to sort of circulate and chat.
It was also. I thought it was good to see, like the Dutch fit, because it's like different to how we do it, isn't it?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
it was good. It was good seeing both sides.
Yeah, yeah. And they were great people as well, fantastic people. Dave Ambreg was, fantastic. He's a lovely bloke.
Yeah. You've entered this year's UK LVT competition with the NICF. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I am. We'll see how that obviously pans out as to whether that goes ahead or not. I know I've chatted to you and whatnot, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I was looking forward to the floor skills one as well, but obviously that's been put off till next year. So it will happen, and yeah, I mean, thing with me, Brian, I'm 50 now, so I wish this would have come 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in the early 90s, wasn't it? Like I think a generation just missed it.
Yeah, because I mean, I started in '88, so uh, I kind of miss that
Yeah.
that sort of '90s, if you like, because I wasn't, obviously that experienced. But yeah, if it was as it is now, 20 years ago, that would have been fantastic. But still, I've still got another 10, 15 years maybe. So the more I can learn in that period of time, the more then I can pass on to other people. So I think that's the good thing about it. It's just you're always learning, always learning.
Just were you saying you've got another 10, 15 years? Are you trying to kid
Yeah.
yourself? Add another 10 on.
Well, I'm hoping to be off my knees in 10 to 15 years, that's for sure. Whether I'll be out of flooring in 15 years, I doubt it very much. Um, but and yeah, it's probably going to be in my 70s, really.
How did you get into the industry, Dan?
By chance, purely by chance. I left school. I did shoe repairing for a year. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I did shoe repairing for a year. I did drain cleaning. Then I went on a YTS scheme at a joinery, and it was knocking up staircases all day long, which was absolutely boring. You know, someone would route out the stringers, I would bash the noggins in. That was it. And then I left there and I had about 2 weeks off, and I literally walked past the careers office. I don't know if they still have them, but kind of like a little job centre, if you like, but careers office. And there was a plaque up there for a floor layer improver. That's what it said. And I just applied for it, got the job, started on the Monday, and that was it. That was October '88. So
God, long time.
long time ago. Yeah.
What do you like about the industry?
People, without a
That's what I
doubt.
like about it, the people.
It's, you know, regardless of opinions and all that sort of thing, for me, without doubt, it's the people. And again, that's another thing, getting back to the training. Purely through the training, I met some fantastic people. You know, from fitters to trainers to manufacturers to technical guys, and you know, it's all the people I've met have been fantastic in this trade.
And what do you dislike about the industry?
Budgets. Flooring tends to be, it's kind of like, well, a kitchen, for instance. You know, someone will spend a fortune, 30, 40, 50 grand on a kitchen, run out of money and go, oh, we'll just put that down on the floor. And for me, it's kind of like, no one really notices the floor, but without it there, people would turn around and go, well, when's your floor going down? You know?
Yeah.
And people tend to scrimp on that, and that's probably a frustrating thing for me. Not much else I dislike about the trade, really. It could go on about pay. I mean, rates obviously have stagnated since. I suppose if you put it into perspective, the money hasn't really gone anywhere. In fact, it's probably, when you look at house prices, especially down here, compared to your wage, it's you know.
I know some fitters what are still charging what I was charging 20 odd years ago. So it is ridiculous. But
yeah.
If you could change something in the industry, Dan, what would it be?
Oh, God, I don't know, Brian. What would I change? I suppose we could go on for years about what would we change. Manufacturers, I suppose there are some manufacturers that are now getting on the, you know, this approval sort of system. Yeah. Whereas, you know, it's they want their product, because this is the thing, they sell a product, and if it's fitted incorrectly, the first thing people will say is that piece of carpet or that vinyl or that LVT is rubbish.
Yeah, we make it look good.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, and so it's not technically the product that's rubbish. It could be the fitting, which is making it not last long enough. You know, things like that, really. But changes, I don't think changes will ever come. But to be honest, hopefully they will. Through training is probably the biggest change I think that's happened, particularly to me, in probably the last, I suppose, 7 years.
Yeah, I'd say the last 10 years, training's got more and more popular. It really is the in thing at the minute.
It is, and you know, I get that people are against it. I get that people don't. But what I would say to them is, just, you can take one thing away from a course.
Yeah,
it's worth the money.
Yeah. Lastly, Dan, do you have any plans for the industry in the future? Anything coming up?
Apart from a couple of competitions, hopefully, and then obviously as I start to sort of get older and he starts to give up, I suppose I wouldn't mind going sort of like towards the office side of it. I mean, I've had a little bit of office experience with the training side, but I'm okay if I understand something.
Yeah.
You know, if I sit in an office and I understand what I'm doing, I'm absolutely fine. But when I don't understand something, for me, that's frustrating. i.e. the apprenticeship folders and that sort of thing. Couldn't understand it.
Well, anyway, happy birthday, because you was 50 the other day, so you through a floor
Yeah,
there, you're not looking back to 50. Well, the only thing I can put it down to, you had an easy apprenticeship, but...
Yeah, well, that's it.
But anyway, happy birthday for that. And Dan, thanks for speaking to us, and good luck with whatever you're doing, and hope you're not too bored stuck in at all.
No, me too, mate. I'm trying to ease down on the beers a bit, so you know, because I don't
I'm
want
using every night at the minute.
why not?
I know. Anyway, take care, Dan. Cheers.
Cheers, Brian. Thanks very much.